How do you explain?
Yeah, I got an email tip off about something that happened on a Friday night. So since this is fresh and this is current, we felt the need to follow up on it very quickly. So that's the reason why it's just me and Beata here right now. And so we're going to go to the area location where the person had the experience, and so we'll see what we can find out there. And so more to come, but we're not there. But we're just driving. It's going to be a few more miles, I would imagine, and so let's see what we can find.
It's start coming back around you, and you know, getting louder and louder. Not really loud, but I mean more and more of night sounds. The more you stayed there, the more you could hear the night sounds.
Right, the regular, typical.
Yeah, and then we heard that squeaking, and it's like they stopped, and then there was another squeaking on the other side, and then you just didn't hear the crickets anymore.
A squeaky sound, as in, did you think it was? You just didn't know, but you heard it.
I really didn't know.
Shh. Hold on. Is that the girls? Maybe it was them. I heard something, but yeah, they are. They're far enough away from us to where it could echo now. Yeah.
But anyways, it's like at first I was thinking like two trees rubbing together, something like that. It was an eeking sound.
Okay.
And that's what I was thinking, but there was no movement, no air flow at all. And
so you dismissed it, or?
No, she got nervous and didn't want to stay here, so I started up and I moved up 100 yards or so, and I stopped and I shut it off again. And then from like the left behind us, we heard that sound again, and that was, again, after we stopped. You didn't hear the crickets, and then the crickets started, and then you could hear that thing again, that sound again, and it was like from the left rear.
So you just said you moved.
Yeah.
And so did this noise kind of stay with you?
It seemed like it came right along with us.
Well, if you moved 100 yards, which if you moved at least 50, 80 yards, you're not going to hear the same trees that are being stressed. You know, let's just say it's wind. You're not going to hear the same weakened tree after you just moved 100 yards away. I mean, you're just not. I mean, I've been out in the woods enough to know, and if there's no wind,
yeah.
If there's no wind,
I couldn't figure it out. You know, we moved because there was no wind, there was no breeze, no nothing to make it that. So I don't know if there's.
And this was the area you were, and this is the area that you were, trying to get into.
Yeah.
Yeah, those look very good. We're gonna have a closer look at that area too. Okay, keep going.
But anyway, it says, you know, she was getting nervous. She wanted me to leave. So I pulled up, and then I just decided I was going to stop again. I moved far enough away from where this noise was. I stopped again, shut everything off, turned out the lights, and we sat there for a minute, and you did not hear the crickets start up again. And all of a sudden, she said she got this like a fishy water smell. It wasn't like a fish smell. She said it was like fishy water. She got that, and she said she didn't like it. She wanted to get out of here. And then when she said, let's go, and at that time there was a big pop behind us, and you could hear a tree come down, and you could hear the branches coming down, and when it hit there, it was shaking and stuff.
Wow.
You know. And I'm trying to get the key in the ignition, and I'm stepping on brake lights and looking in the mirrors. I couldn't see anything back there, and I started up. We took off. So she was really scared.
So the tree coming down, that was the catalyst to pack it up and get out.
Yeah, that was a real quick one. And what I did was I pulled out there towards the main road, and I just turned around. I sat there looking back down this road, you know, and never saw anything. But
so let me ask you this: Did you feel like you got the message? Time to go.
Yeah.
I mean.
Yeah, she.
I mean, just because a tree falling down don't mean anything, and you know, just tree falls down. But evidently your wife felt like something wasn't right.
Yeah,
you know.
she had.
That's what I'm gathering.
Yeah.
Your wife felt something not right.
Yeah, she had a real feeling before that, saying she wanted to get out of here. About getting out of here before that happened.
Mm-hmm.
But then when she turned around, she snapped her head around and says, "Let's go and go, let's go." And I heard the pop on the other side, because she said she had that fishy smell. I'm not sure the way she snapped her head around. I'm not sure if because she started after that. I mean, it was like,
yeah,
she was very, very excited, upset, and
okay.
you know.
We're gonna walk down there some more, or we're gonna talk to the two girls because they're going forward, because this area looks like there's a, let me pull it down a little bit. There's a bit of a cypress swamp on this side. I wouldn't say a bit of a cypress swamp. It is a cypress swamp. And then there's a road that goes through this gnarly looking area. Okay. What we've done is we came on down the road a few hundred yards, and the road seems to be going little by little downhill, so I'm thinking there's a creek in this area. The area we're in right now is very, very dense. It looks like a lot of old growth. Maybe years ago, this maybe was a homestead area years ago. I see large oaks, and it looks like a good area to get some activity at. So we'll go take a look around this area, because my hunch is that if they were shushed out of here, like intimidated out, then the location where I have not filmed yet, the location is at the beginning of the entrance. So that's interesting to know as well. Okay, so we're going to have a look around in this area a little bit more closer. I just want to see a downed tree. There's nothing to do with the tree, but we're just going to be able to go in there and give it some scale. And
I can go higher.
what do you say, 15 feet, maybe? The whole root system, there it is right there, or 12 feet or so more. It's massive, huh?
It's massive.
It's pretty neat. But we're just showing you how gnarly this area looks like it's got all the prime.
Oh, hang on. I want to go in the back.
Yeah, watch for snakes. You don't have snake boots on.
Oh, you can see the tree in the back, how it crashed down.
Yeah.
And hey, something could live underneath here. Wow.
Don't go too far, because like I said, you ain't got no snake protection on.
There's a lot of, check this out. Where the insects that make holes, dirt dopplers. Look at this. They're all in there. Oh, look, check this out.
There's snakes
The
going to be in
locust.
there too, so don't get near the tree.
No. Look at this. Check this out. There's a big locust. See it? Just coming up.
Yeah.
And then you see all these, it's like dirt doublers. You see down there in the root? You see it? You see it? The dirt doppler and then the locust right
Oh, I
there.
got the little locust guy moving around.
And
He
then
looks
look
pretty
at the
neat.
dirt doublers. They're there and then down there on the root system. And then look how massive this whole thing is right here. I don't want to go too close because, but look how far. This thing is long.
Yeah. It's pretty extensive. It's a big tree.
Yes.
It's a big boy.
Yeah, did you see from this side? Look at this. You gotta come right here.
Yeah.
Here, let's switch places.
Yeah, so this could be makeshift shelter.
Yeah, look at this. I could easily sleep down in there, but, hello, Bug City. But,
Yeah.
it's just interesting. Look how far this thing goes.
It's very hot. It's very humid.
Okay, how do we get in?
Well, let me spin the camera. I don't want to get snake bit from on top of my head, but yeah, so something could go through there. This could be just temporary makeshift shelter. It is big enough to provide that. Although I don't see any signs of recent use from anything. So. I also have not heard. I've not heard any. I've not heard any of the signs either, knocks, pops, or stick breaks, or anything. But we are 4 people. This is a good area to maybe do a night operation. Just come back here and simulate what happened to them, which is they said they actually came out into the swamp to. They had just bought some Thermacells, and they knew they wanted to test them out. So they found a gnarly area that they had driven through before in the past, and basically just parked, had a Thermacells running, and they were just waiting to see how the mosquitoes would react. So like they were doing a test, and so that's the reason why they were here in this area to begin with. But as many people in the swamp, drive through it all the time. They always look at the swamp, and it's just as normal for people to do a lot of that stuff here. The swamp is very fascinating to see, especially when the waters come and go. Okay, so let's continue on. So this was very neat. We've moved on just a little bit, but we were all in the middle of the roadway right here. There's a small road that comes through here. We were all just talking about some strategy, and we all heard what sounded like a cough. It went like it went like that, and then Beata goes, "Oh, that's her stomach," and I looked at you and you said, "No, that was not my stomach." And then I asked you, I said right away, I said, "What direction?" She said, "Behind me."
Yeah.
That was pretty awesome, huh?
Yeah, for both of us to hear it?
Yeah, well, all 4 of us heard it, I believe.
Yeah.
And so what it is that this area, more than likely, if you can hear vocals like that subtly, that's within, my hunch is within about at least 50 yards, and more than likely there's something that's got their eyes on us. So we might want to come back and coordinate a little bit of a nighttime outing in this area, and just hang out a little bit more to see if somebody's willing to come on out and play a little bit. So we're gonna go look at a tree here shortly. Okay. Now we're back at the site. Oh, thank you very much. And if you want to come a little closer, you can stay out of the frame. We're gonna come around the bend right here. We're gonna look at the tree. And we'll see if it looks like it had a little bit of help or something like that. Okay, like we just got told earlier, okay, we was told that there was hardly any wind distinguishable the night they were out here, which was just Friday night, okay? And I'm gonna feel the tree right here.
Hang on.
This is not a pine tree, obviously. I'm looking at the leaves. I was going to say there's no sap in here, or very little. The tree seems hard to me, and the direction of this break is coming from the road. That's what it looks like. Well, I don't know. Could it be? The tree falls right here. I'm trying to see the amount of pressure or force it would take to break it and have it fall this direction. So yeah, it looks probably like something was maybe on the opposite side, and the tree got pushed in this general direction right here, and their vehicle was just like right over here, in this general area. And so I don't see anything that's just standing out blatantly obvious, although I will say the tree doesn't seem to be rotten. I mean, the tree don't seem to be rotten, and I'm kicking on it. And here's a piece of wood, and it's very difficult just to get a piece off. So the tree doesn't feel rotten. I don't see any evidence of being rotten. It's a hardwood type tree. I'm allergic to fire ants, but hey.
Hey, look at this is
So
and it's green.
yes, and the tree is green.
Yeah. And if I would have been here, that would have scared.
So it is a
Living
pretty
crap out of me.
tall tree, and our weather has been where we haven't had a lot of weather as far as a lot of rain. So it's not like it's a big dense canopy tree with a lot of water on it and then it decides to break. I'm like, daggum, man. And the circumference of the tree is what? 8 inches maybe? 8 inches maybe, you would think? Or more? What do you think?
About, well, circumference?
Yeah, the diameter.
Well, I'd say the diameter is about 8 inches. The whole circumference.
Well, at least the you know, we're just trying to gauge how thick the tree is.
Yeah,
8 inches, you think?
yeah, that's a lot thicker right there too.
And it's a hardwood tree too.
I just wanted this thing cracked.
As in, like, was it weakened?
Yeah.
You think?
I was thinking.
I don't see any indications or anything that something would have been standing back here pushing. I just don't know. It ain't standing out and jumping me and hitting me.
Just wanted it to crack there, then come down.
Just looked right across the road and we saw, and we looked at this one tree. This is just opposite the road where there's one tree. And I'm pushing on and this is smaller in diameter. And it looks like the same type of tree to some extent. And I'm pushing, and you know, and this tree is solid as a rock. And it's not, this one ain't coming down without some Mother Nature help, you know. And I would have reason to believe that the other tree was just as solid. Although, how much force would it take to bring it down? I don't know. Awful lot. Here's the down tree right here. Down tree is right here. And that's a side shot. And you said your vehicle was what, about, maybe right about here?
No, right up here where they are. Because
Okay. So we'll show you the distance of the vehicles.
I was right about here, because when I stepped on the brake lights and I looked over my left shoulder there, I could just see those leaves and those bushes there, they still waving up and down.
Yeah.
And she's looking out to the right here and yelling she wants to go, she wants to go.
And there was a tree that's down right there. Right here. And there's a tree.
This second tree that's down right here, that's snapped off, that's on top of the one that came down with the leaves on it Friday.
Mm-hmm.
So this one happened after that one did.
So, you know, when you come out and you do a site survey and you look at it, it's just, you just apply the logic of common sense, you know. Talk to the people that what they were doing, we did that, what brought them to the area to begin with, and you look at the results. I didn't see any indication of something large would have been standing there and just what I would think would just push a tree. I didn't see anything strike me that did that, although I will say the tree looks solid. And it looked like it was fairly upright, not like it was a bending tree to begin with. But when you put everything in perspective, because you got to put everything in perspective, I didn't get the aha moment until we went in a little bit deeper, okay? We went into a little bit deeper and we heard that sound, okay? Sounded like somebody had, like, coughed. We've heard no vehicles come by this area at all. We've heard no people at all. We are miles from any hardball type highway. And then once I heard that cough, it made me raise my eyebrows up. That more than likely the reason is that this area was more than likely being watched. The vehicle comes in, the vehicle does a 3-point turn, it starts to leave. If this area is under watch, they're going to expect that vehicle to continue on about its business. When the vehicle didn't go on and they realized there was people in it, they come in closer and then they waited them out and then they waited them out. And then what'd you say, 45 minutes or so you was here?
Yeah.
For some reason, more than likely, the vehicle should not have stayed here longer than that. And so, quite likely, it is possible that there might have been a little bit of help on the tree. I can't see what I would think is any evidence of this tree being shoved. I just can't see it. That's not to say that it didn't have help. It's not to say that it is 100% Sasquatch activity either. What I do get suspect of is the cough that I heard. Okay, that cough sound. And we did not hear any animal movement over there. Sounded like it was about 40, 50 yards away from us. So we're going to come back out, and we're probably going to come out here at nighttime at a later date, and we're going to have a look at this area, and we're going to probably do our, more than likely, our fake distressed vehicle, broken down type thing, and we'll come out at night, and we'll just give them a reason to maybe come on in a little closer and have another look. Maybe we'll be able to get some stuff. We'll have the FLIR with us, and so it's a future project. I'm interested. So the people are willing to take us back out here again, because I will not ever return to an area that someone tells me of. I will not ever return to that area unless the persons are with me or unless they tell me to go there again for some reason. Okay?
Thank you.
So thank you very much for watching, and that's it.